House Oversight Committee, Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan and Michael Turner. Congressman Jordan, is it solved? Is it a mystery? Can you answer these questions? Because I didn't hear about the answers.
Sean, if it was solved, we would know who these infamous 2 rogue agents in Cincinnati are. If it was solved, Lois Lerner wouldn't need to plead the Fifth. And never, ever, ever forget, this is the same agency that's going to be charged with enforcing Obamacare. That's why it's so critical we get to the bottom of this, and frankly, it's why it's so critical we stop them from having any part in Obamacare and try to stop the legislation altogether. Yeah. Every string you pull on this thing unravels something new. Of course it's not solved.
Congressman Turner, let's go to the issue that Congressman Jordan mentioned, and that is the defense was rogue agents, Cincinnati. And we got these transcripts. You guys interviewed rogue agents in Cincinnati, and they said, no, we were under orders from D.C. Have we resolved that?
Absolutely not. I mean, Sean, as you just said, we're trying to hold people accountable and make certain that it doesn't happen again. You know, someone initiated this, someone approved it, others knew, and others executed it. This was a systematic targeting of the American public based upon their political beliefs. This is not one agent or one person. Representative Cummings is absolutely wrong. The investigation is not over. You can't hold people accountable and make certain this doesn't happen again if you say that this, which was systematic, was done by one person. It certainly wasn't.
Congressman Jordan, let me ask you the same question. The Cincinnati IRS workers contradicted that alibi. They said it was Washington. What do we know about it?
Yeah, we know that the Carter Hall, the lawyer in Washington, was involved in this based on what they've told staff on the Oversight Committee in depositions. So, of course, we need to further investigate. We still don't know why Doug Shulman went to the White House 157 times. And Mike is exactly right. For an administration to use an agency as a weapon against their political opponents is as wrong as things can be in this country. That is why that is exactly why we've got to get to the bottom of this, and it will take some time. It took us 8 months to get a breakthrough on Benghazi. It's going to take some time to figure out exactly what happened and who organized it and who choreographed it and who ordered it.
Right. Then, Congressman Jordan, what are the answers that you want? What are the top 3, 4 things that you want answers to?
I want to know the people at the White House, the people in Washington who made this happen. If, in fact, it went to the White House, who, in fact, did that. You don't discover that until you interview folks, sit them down, ask them the questions, both in Cincinnati and in Washington. Just last week, we sent out for 15 additional people to interview, both in Cincinnati and Washington. That's how you get to the bottom of this. It took a long time. I keep going back to the Benghazi situation. It took a long time before Greg Hicks was willing to come forward and give us some answers on Benghazi. It's going to take some time to figure out who those key individuals are who are going to give us the truth and tell us where this started. That's the key thing in all these investigations.
Congressman Turner, your top 3. What are the top 3 issues or questions you want answered?
Well, to hold people accountable, you have to know who, and to make certain it doesn't happen again, you have to see how did this unfold, and how do we make certain that the laws are established that make it illegal. And third, I believe that there are probably laws that are on the books now that were violated, and what we need to do is find out, how this applies to the laws in the books and hold people accountable.
Yeah, well, I think this is pretty basic. Do you connect the 2 stories, what we're now dealing with the NSA targeting all Americans with these broad, sweeping, analyzing phone records, going after Google, Yahoo, Microsoft? Congressman Jordan, is there a connection here in terms of what's going on or an attitude?
Well, I certainly think when you view it all in context, you go back to the drone question that Senator Paul asked, then you look at the cover-up of the Benghazi situation, then the AP phone records, then the James Rosen issue, then the IRS targeting of political opponents, and now this. That's what's got people so concerned, is when you view it all in context, it's a scary, scary picture. And so for me, that's how I look at it, and that's why I think we're going to have to relook at some of the laws that are on the books and make sure we protect civil liberties and the right to privacy.
We'll go after Tea Party patriots, but we won't go after the Tea terrorists. None of this makes sense. Beam me up, Scotty. We know intelligent life here right now. All right, guys, good to see you. Appreciate you both.